Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Universal Energies. I'm your host, Queen Mocha, your intuitive guide, your truth speaker, drag queen, and your reminder that healing is holy and your joy is revolutionary. I'm so honored tonight to be joined with my co host, Miss Kim Williams, who I'm going to make big screen now. Hello,
Cool.
Kim.
Hi, Miss Mocha. How are you?
We're doing pretty good, but we are feeling the light tonight. So
Yeah, exactly. And that's good because I've got some good Zen. So
we were
namaste.
feeling a little bad earlier today, but
Right,
we're
and
feeling
that's what
better.
I want to talk to you guys about. So namaste to everyone. My light loves and cherishes and respects the light in you. So namaste to y'all. And yeah, the reason why we're doing this today, I mean, we've been planning to do these, and that's great, but procrastination is the key. But today, Miss Mocha posted on the Universal YouTube channel. Please make sure to check that out. She was talking about what happened with the Smithsonian Institution today, and I just clicked on it, and I didn't know she was posting it, so I'm just on it, and I click on it, and then I pick up on her body language. And I'm like, ooh, you mad, you real mad, and you sad. I can see
If
that
you
you're
want to know why I was mad, go watch that video.
yes, you need to watch the video. But she was in a place and I understood where she was. So I sent her a message and I said, by the way, I love you and let's talk about this. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some positive. Okay. So what happened in the news is they've gone through and they're trying to erase bad parts of Trump's presidency um, by erasing factual things that are stored in the Smithsonian, as well as things that were being stored in the governmental archives. What I know and what I've become aware of, I made her aware of that today, trying to calm her down a little bit, is that we're aware that this has already happened. Like we knew that this had already happened to the archives for the government, and we knew they would be going for anything. They're trying to redo everything. So we need to take a breath and know that that is what is happening. It is. So, how do we combat that? We combat that through education. And I'm just going to do a little thing here just for an example. And then I'm going to let Mocha get on with what we're talking about today. The education will be part of our lives from now on. It'll be just a small section, and it's going to be about education of things that we were never educated on or that it was skewed. Okay, so now we're going to start educating people without the lies, with truth and with respect for those people who deserve truth. Okay, an example of this in Black history is that in the United States, patents were given to prom- primarily white people back in the day. Um, and not actually the people who did whatever it is they were producing. So I have two examples, and this is just an example. We're not going to go into deep dive. We can at a later date. Just an example of education that we're going to keep educating, and the fact that people do withhold education and they do try to take it away. We're watching it happen right now. Okay, so how do we stop that? We keep educating. Okay, that's how we do that. We keep telling the story. So now we're all going to, don't even write it down. We're going to start being storytellers again. Okay, and we're going to keep telling the truth. So people back in the day gave the machines that created the soles of your shoes. Okay, back in the day, it was given credit to a white man. The patent was given to the white man, but the white man didn't do it. A black man named Jan Ernst Metziegler. Okay, he was from Sweden, and yes, he was black. And yes, he was slave. His family, his mother was an indentured servant. She was kept. Okay, so yes, that boy He created that machine. So just everybody know,
Mm.
Jan, go Jan. Okay, here we are for you, Jan. Sorry you're dead now. However, I know about Jan. So whereas Mom Mocha was so upset today because the thought of these things being erased devastated her. But I'm here to tell you that there's people like me and people like her, and we're not going to let it be erased. Another one, and then I'm done, is Garrett Morgan, and he created the automatic traffic lights, which I think is so cool. So
That
you
is cool.
see his work every day. If you drive a car, you see Garrett Morgan's work every day. Now, if you look it up, he wasn't given credit for it. Okay, a white person was. So that's the history we're not going to let happen. So why did we start talking about that? Because the news is very upsetting, and we need to understand that it is upsetting, but we can go around it. Don't worry about it. Take a deep breath. Is it terrible? Yes. However, just like here at the Universal Energies channel, we're going to teach every live, and we're looking for 2 lives a week. So you'll get information every week and for months and months and months. So, and the more we teach you, the more you can teach other people, and we'll just keep teaching by
And
word
like we
of
say,
mouth.
we don't pretend to know everything, but we will share what we have learned.
Right. And I've got somebody right now, as we speak, as a matter of fact, on their computer right now doing more research for us and trying to find links that we can attach. And maybe we can start attaching some videos of
Because I'm
education.
not sure if you guys have noticed, but a lot of media is getting suppressed by news outlets that are taking over these social media platforms. You have Fox News doing one thing, and then you got NBC doing the other thing. You got them coming from all directions. That's kind of why I've summarized what you need to know and in a brief, easy to understand kind of way. Because if we get silenced, then that means information does not get out, and then you stay in the dark.
And we're also making a list. I talked to Mocha about it today. So next week or whatever, we'll have our list. It's going to be on the description of our YouTube channel. It's going to be talking about all the news outlets that we listen to that we have no problem referring you to, like Midas Touch. Okay, no problem at all. Or Pod Save America. Okay, that's more political than news and stuff, but and we're going to break it down so that you know, like if you're looking for a legal question, you might want to go here. If you're looking for a political question, you might go here. If you're looking for, what else did we talk about? Look, I got everything everywhere.
And think about going back to Twilight. Like I used to say back at the Rainbow Support Group meetings that I stay Switzerland. I am not Democrat. I am not Republican. I am an outsider looking in. That is the
Right.
perspective that you're going to get whenever you get my answers, my news briefings, my inspirational post. They're all going to come from an outside perspective. I'm not going to try to sway you one way or the other because I'm not on one side or the other. I'm in
No,
it
and
for us all.
right, my whole thing is I am a humanist. Okay, like what political thing are humanist?
Hmm.
Okay, I'm for the
Everybody.
I'm for the humans and the animals and the trees. Okay, that's who I'm for. And when I went to church, I went to a Unitarian Universalist church. Unitarian meaning united, and Universalist meaning everybody. Everybody united. So yeah, that's that's my political view. Is everybody. Okay, Miss Mocha. I introduced me. I
So let me
introduced our
make
little
me
education
big
for
real quick. All right. So today's topic is one that I return to again and again. And in my practice, something so simple, but something so transformative. And we continue to talk about it because we use it. And that is focusing on our circle of control. Now, I do have a script just because I have a lot of information. So let's talk about this concept. The circle of control is a tool. Think of it like a lens, like glasses, that helps you distinguish what's actually yours to manage and what's not. It has 3 layers: the inner circle, Lies of stuff what you can control. This is where your power lives. You can control things like your reactions, your boundaries, your choices, your words, the energy that you bring into any space that you encounter, and then what you choose to focus on. Those are things that you can control. The middle ring, these are things that you might influence. This is tricky. These are things that might impact, but you don't have the final say over. These are things like your relationships, how people respond to your truth, the mood in the whole room. You know, when you enter a room, you have to read the room, your children's behavior, conversations with coworkers, partners, maybe your family members. You can offer, suggest, invite, but you cannot control the outcome. And trying to will drain your energy. The outer circle. All right, these are going to be things that you cannot control. This is where we waste so much of our energy. And if we're not careful, this is going to drain us faster than anything else. These are going to be things like the past, what people think about you, the choices other people make, the weather. Now that sounds crazy, but you can't change the weather. Social systems, politics, family dynamics that you did not create. You have no control over those things, and focusing your energy on trying to will drain you.
Mhm.
When you live out here in the circle of things you can't control, always reacting, always trying to fix, you burn yourself out. You disconnect from your own intuition and you forget the power that you hold. I used to live in that outer circle, trying to keep everybody happy, trying to fix what didn't belong to me. And I ended up tired, resentful, disconnected from myself. And then once I started focusing on what I could control, my time, my truth, my boundaries, everything started to shift in the positive direction. Now, let me give you another story. There was a time in my life when I was holding everybody's baggage, trying to solve everybody's problems, trying to keep the peace, make sure everybody make sure nobody felt abandoned. I even showed up when I had nothing left to give. My presence was all I had to give. I showed up. I was there. Kim can attest to that. Kim did the same thing. I thought I was being loving, but what I was really doing, I was abandoning myself. And I hit a wall. I was exhausted. I was sick. I was bitter. I was mean.
Me.
And I was quiet about it. And when I learned that I can love without boundaries, and when I learned that love without boundaries is self destruction, I sat and I had to question what is actually mine to hold. And when that circle of control came to me, I was able to come alive. I felt the change. I couldn't undo the past. And I knew that I couldn't force someone to respect me, but I could have respect for myself.
Right. Right.
I can also decide what I allow and what energy to, and where I give my energy to. I give my energy back to the people who need it and give me the same respect back. I used to give my energy to people that did not water my seeds the same way I watered theirs. Think of it like plants. Kim and I are plants. I water her plant. She waters my plant. But the minute that she doesn't water my plant, it's no use to me, and I need to find new friends, new
Right.
pathways.
Right. Bob. Bob.
Now, this next topic, this is more of a manifestation and energy and spiritual topic. And if you have just met us, this might be a new topic that you easily adapt to. But if you know Kim and I in the past, we haven't really talked about this. We talked about more um, productivity, proactiveness on a basic level, not a spiritual level. But the
Right.
more that we've learned, the more spiritual we've become.
Correct.
So, first topic,
Especially now.
I know. So now let's talk about
Especially.
energy. Because y'all know I don't believe in just talking about the mindset. And I've talked about frequency before. Everything around you is frequency.
Correct.
Your energy flows where your focus goes. And when your focus is on things you can't control, your energy gets scattered. Your vibration drops. You start attracting chaos because your spirit is out of alignment. But when you center yourself back in your own circle, your own choices, actions, rituals, affirmations, that's when manifestation becomes magnetic. You're not trying to force something anymore, you're aligning yourself with it.
Correct. Go with the flow.
That's when energy, that's what energy work is all about. That's what spiritual healing is about. Not controlling the storm, but learning how to stand still in your center.
Yes. Yes.
In that stillness, clarity shows up. When you're no longer chasing, begging, or reacting, you can actually receive peace, direction, the right people, even divine interaction. This is just the beginning. This channel isn't just a place to vent or vibe. This is a healing house for all of us, a place for restoration and remembrance. And in the weeks ahead, we're going to dive even deeper. Things like protecting your energy in toxic environments, whether it's family, work, or online spaces. We're going to teach you how to guard your spirit without becoming hard headed. We're going to teach you manifestation that's grounded in the truth because
Yes.
we are going to shed light on what is that one topic that we underlined? Lies. Not just the think positive fluff, but soul aligned manifestation that makes space for grief, healing, and action. We're going to talk about inner child healing and ancestral patterns. We'll go dive deep into how our childhood wounds and generational trauma shape our spiritual walk and how to begin breaking those generational cycles. We're going to start learning how to hold boundaries without guilt, especially for people pleasers and healers, because we are some of those people. We have learned, like we said, we used to be yes people, but we figured out how draining that was. We're going to learn how to say no without an apology. We're going to talk about how to recognize and stop spiritual bypassing. That toxic positivity stuff, we're not doing that here. We're doing the real work. We're not going to shed light about being positive. We're out showing you how to do it. We're not telling you what to do without walking that path with you. We're learning as we go, just like you. Now, we're also going to, I had a little thing that Kim, I wanted her to kind of talk about. It said, we're also going to be bringing meditations, journal prompts, and even some live Q&A sessions because Kim actually has a journal. You need to get the link because if you go buy that journal, you can use that as we talk about affirmations and how to keep a daily journal and what benefits that brings. All right, so last thing we're going to talk about.
Wait a minute. You need to talk about this. Hang on. Let me do this so I can see. You need to talk about this so that everybody can understand that it's legit. Okay. So talk about what is this, Mocha?
Okay, so yes, look at all of these things. These are what we are facing right now. These are things in our circle of control, and you need to figure out in your own personal lives where each of these goes, what you can control and what you can't. And if you can't control the lies, the prices, the war, the car issues, the natural disasters, not finding a job, do not focus your energy on these things because it will drain you. Stuff like AI, starvation. We have so much going on, guys. We have to learn how to keep our center and not let these things drain our energy.
Correct. And that's the thing. That's what we want you guys to know. We've been talking about the news and we've been talking about things, and that's legit. But what we found out is that it's stressing us out too. And what we want to do is we want to help each other, and we want to help other people. We want to lighten the path in front of everyone. Shine
Hmm.
the light so that you have a path to walk on. Now, I did want to talk about, I know this is a new catchphrase in the world, that false positivity shit. I guess, but I'm a different kind of person, and I would argue with a shrink. Telling somebody to look on the positive side of things, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm totally good with that. I do a journal. Now, this is not the journal I created. Like Mocha said, I have one on Amazon. But this is my journal, and I write in it every day. Okay. And I start out with my blessings. I say good morning. I put the date on it. I either say good morning or I might not even. And then I start blessings. I just put blessings and I start writing, and I'm usually half asleep. So I'm like, I'm happy for my coffee, and I'm happy for the carpet, and I'm happy for my cats, and I'm happy for my house, and I'm happy that my pillow was soft and I was happy. I don't believe in false positivity. I don't think there is a fucking thing as false positivity. I think that if you're positive, if you're in a shitty, depressed mood, but you find a way to be positive, is that fake? No, it's you trying to pull yourself out of a dark space and into a brighter space. I'm here for you. We're
Yeah.
here for you.
No, when
Okay.
I
So,
say false positivity, I mean we're not going to be on here and act like everything's okay. We're going to tell you that it is very shitty, but we're also going to tell you how to get through it.
right. And we're going to validate. Mocha and I have run, we also, for those of you that don't know who we also run the Rainbow Support Group. Right now, we do not have a website, but you can check us out on Facebook. But that was just a promo for that. If you want to go check that out, it's an LGBT support group, and we do that there. And we've always done the never cover over their shitty situation. What we want to do, first of all, is recognize and validate that they are, in fact, having a shitty situation. We've done that on purpose. Like, we start with listening to them. We start with validating, regardless if we agree with their interpretation of their issue or not. I mean, we'll come to that later, okay? But in the beginning, they have a right to feel the way they feel. If they're sad, I'm not going to say you shouldn't be sad. Okay, no, because they're freaking sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's validate that they're sad. Even if I think, oh, you shouldn't be sad and I can make you feel better. Okay, well, I'm not going to not tell them they're not sad. Okay, I think that's crazy. Um, Now, Mocha and I, she was talking about the circle of control. We do have a picture of that, which we can put. I don't know. Does YouTube allow us to do stuff like that? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out, to where you can see the circle of control.
Yeah.
There's actually
I
a
know we can do
picture.
it on Facebook, so we can post it on our Facebook. If you want to see it, you'll have to follow us on our Facebook page and you can see it because we'll post this video on YouTube and Facebook. But I don't know if I can post picture comments in YouTube, but we'll see. If I
Yeah,
can,
we'll
then
see.
I'll post it. But
Yeah, because the picture is really cool and it makes your brain
yeah,
understand. In the middle is the stuff you can control.
once we
And
learn
it's
how to be more technical, we'll have a green screen and stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah. And And in time, we need a monitor, an editor. We need all of this. Okay, so that's in the future. But the circle of protection starts small in the middle. That's what we can control. Um, Everything outside of that, like she said, there was rings on this picture. So the first ring is the things that we really can't do stuff about, but we might be able to adapt to a little bit. But then that outer ring, that's stuff like all the stuff on this chart that I showed you. A lot of that we can't do anything about. Okay, well, right now, if you'll notice, everything that was on this horrible, hang on, let me do this again, on this horrible piece of paper, even though I tried to make it look pretty, um, on this, all of this stuff right here is everything that's on the news. It's all that we're hearing about. But in the circle of control, we can't do anything about any of that. Okay, so what am I telling you? Be aware of that. Okay. However, no, you have no power here. Now, what can we do? I have a huge list right here because that sounded so sad, right? Like, oh my God, if I can't do anything, what can I do? Okay. The fixes for this, there's so many. In your circle of control, Mocha and I giggled earlier, but this is for real true. The first thing that you can do with all of this stuff right here is to turn your TV off. Okay. Turn your TV off. I am just as guilty as the next guy of binge bad news, binge bad news, binge bad news. And then you're all distressed and you wonder why. Okay. That's why. And remember, if it was something I needed to listen to right now because I'm going to take action right now and I'm going to be able to do something right now, then okay, fine, be upset about it. But if it's something happening right now and there's nothing you can do about it right now, then you need to understand that's out of your circle of protection. So what can you do? Okay. Stop. My cat is being upset with me and kicking me out of his way. No, no, you're in my way. Okay, the first thing is turn off the TV when it gets to be too much. Take a break, focus on yourself. Remember, we're only as good as we are. Okay, so you can't help your neighbor if you've lost your mind and you're in the bed with utter depression. You need to take care of yourself first, always. Okay, gas mask, the air mask on you before everybody else so that you can give everybody else an air mask. The same thing. So turn off the TV, take a breath, take a bath, make some brownies, do your thing, And then Mocha and I's favorite one, other than turning off your TV, which is just good for everybody's mental health. One of the things we're going to put in our thing is a guy called Hawk, and I absolutely love him. And he came on the other day and he's like, I took 24 hours off and I highly recommend. I'm like, absolutely. I
Yeah.
highly recommend. He said, I laid on the couch, I played some video games, I ate some pizza, and I just didn't do it. And I was like, good for you. Good for you. Yes, we can all do that. But Mocha and I's number one favorite thing that we actually do, I do here in my house, her and I have, I mean, the support group that we run, the majority of the stuff we did was hiking. Okay. The walking, the getting in nature. Okay. We do that like on the regular, but there's actually a thing called grounding. You can Google that. There's many ways to do that. Even if you're disabled and you can't get out of the house, but you have house plants. I literally don't have a garden outside. And so I built a garden in my home. There are more plants in my house than things. But in that, I'm able to ground myself in my dirt, taking care of my plants, watching them grow, and that grounds me. I love it because I actually get lost in doing it. So, whatever thing you find, taking walks, going in the woods, picking flowers,
And if you
going.
believe in affirmations, I do have an affirmation that will help ground you. This is one that you just breathe in and out, take a deep breath, and then you say, I release what is not mine to carry. I call my energy back home to me. I focus on what I can control, and I trust the universe to handle the rest.
Okay, I need
One more
you.
deep breath in and then let it go.
Wonderful. I need you to copy and paste that for me and send that to me. And we're
That
going
is
to say
mine.
that on every one of our videos. That namaste.
I release what is not mine to carry.
I release what is not mine to carry.
I call my energy back home to me.
I call my energy back home to me.
I focus on what I can control,
I focus on what I can control,
and I trust the universe to handle the rest.
and I trust the universe to handle the rest.
One more
I
breath in and let it all go.
I like that. Mocha, yes, we're going to do that every video, y'all. Mocha, mark that. Mark that. Click and
You're
paste.
not meant to carry the weight of the world. You're not meant to move through it with presence, purpose, and peace only. Oh, look, people are messaging on Facebook. I'm sorry if my you can see my screen glitching and flashing, but
Yeah.
it looks like the strobe lights are going off. Something's happening, but let me say a closing real quick, and then we can end this before we lose it.
Wait. Oh, are we going to lose it because we didn't get to do our letters?
Um, yeah, go ahead and do the cursive letters real quick.
Okay. I found out a stupid thing, and my stupid thing was that I found out, which I did not know, that people, I was a
Look, now my
teacher, by the way.
computer's not glitching. That is scary.
Okay. I was a teacher for a long time, and a lot of people don't know that I was a teacher. Well, during all of this politics stuff and us watching it on the TV, I got to listening to a bunch of people. And there were a bunch of people who said, people don't know how to write in cursive. And I said, what? What are you talking about? Everybody can write. And they're like, no, Kim, no, they can't. So just to let you guys know, which I think is funny, and I'm not bashing you because I'm actually here to teach you, we're going to do a letter every video. This is going to be long for a second just because I'm explaining it to you. This actually says cursive writing, okay, if you can't read that. And all cursive writing, and as you can see, it's not perfect because cursive writing connects all the letters. As you can see, I don't connect all of mine. Okay. So it's okay if you're not perfect, but you do need to know how to write. Okay. So
Not
up
to
here,
mention,
I've
I
got,
think cursive is just so pretty. Like, I
so do
honestly
I.
love cursive.
So do I. There's Sarah, who has to be a part of everything. Sarah, can you move, please? Okay. If you'll see on here, I've wrote the thing you saw in school, the solid line, a dotted line, and a solid line. And the reason why is because we're going to show you where the halfway line is on a mark, but it really doesn't matter. Like I told you, you can be cash about this. Like, I don't want everybody to be all anal. Okay. We're going to do one letter every video. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to show you the letter and we're going to carry on. Okay. Just so that you know what it is. And then I guess when we get a couple letters together, we can start making some words with them. But right now, we're just going to do letters
Yep.
and get Sarah out of my face.
We'll
Okay,
start
so here we go.
small. There's only
We'll
26
start,
letters, and we'll have more than 26 videos. So,
right. Okay, so first we're going to do the capital A and a lowercase a. They're both very easy. Okay, A. I know it's ugly. Remember, we don't have to be perfect. That is a capital A. Okay, now a little a. Up, around, and down.
there you go.
There
And
you
that's
go.
first of
Now
A.
remember, you're not going to have a thing in the beginning because it's a capital.
Yep.
Okay, but you're going to have one at the little because it's a little.
And you have to connect it, kind of like you have to connect the dots. So,
Right. And then we all know, but we might not know. There. Cursive A, capital. Cursive A, little. Regular A, capital. Regular A, little.
think of it, they just added a few curves to it.
They did. And this says cursive writing.
So they added
Okay.
curves.
There's your teacher for today. You're done. You can now go to recess. Bye.
All right, guys. So listen, if this message resonates with you and it spoke to your spirit, drop a comment below and let us know. What are you letting go this week? And what is in your circle of control that you decided that is no longer going to be? Until next time, let's grow, let's glow, and heal together. Peace.